Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining our webinar today. I'm sure more people will start hopping on or wait for the recording, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So we'd like to say thank you to Center for Rule of Affairs. They've sponsored a lot of our trainings, and they're really great. And we actually have a special video from Anthony, who's part of Center for Rule of Affairs, so I'm going to play that real quick.
Hello, my name is Anthony Garola, and I'm a loan specialist with the Center for Rural Affairs. As one of the many services that we provide, I'm here to introduce you into our lending services. When a bank can't help with dreams of home ownership or growing a business, the Center for Rural Affairs can. We offer coaching and financing to help people become homeowners and to start or grow sustainable businesses. Please feel free to contact me or visit cfra.org for more information.
All right, so thank you to Anthony for giving us this video. And like he said, you can go to their website and contact them, or you can contact Anthony himself. Our featured sponsor for our August trainings is Central Nebraska Economic Development District. So we'd like to say a huge thank you to them. Our featured member is Lips Printing Services, and they have been a Grow Nebraska member since 2005. So that's been quite a while. So we'd like to say thank you to them. And they actually made our state fair discount cards, and they did it super quick. So big thank you to them. And this week's presenter is Renee of True North Technology. So we'd like to thank her for taking time out of her day to present for you guys. So we'll go ahead and have her pop up her presentation. Hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. My screen changed just a little bit when the presentation went away, so I have my share screen now. Okay.
Oh, and be sure if you have any questions to leave them in the chat and she'll answer them at the end.
Absolutely. Happy to answer any questions. And you can type them in throughout the presentation as well. I appreciate anyone that's tuned in today or will be watching via the recording. I'm the owner of True North Technologies, which is a digital marketing company based in Lincoln, Nebraska. We've been in business for about 4 years, and we offer services like website and app development, search engine optimization, social media management, digital advertising, and so much more. But we're definitely a company that loves to educate our clients. So if there's anything that you're curious about, wondering how you can make something in the digital world work for your company or your industry, we're happy to sit down and talk with you anytime. My contact information will be at the end. But we'll just go ahead and get started. We're going to be going over how to analyze your current marketing strategy. The first and most important thing for you to find out in your company is who's your ideal client and how are they finding you? That could be most likely online. They're going to a Google search, or they hear about you from a friend, and then they're going to find your website to see what you're all about. It'll be an interesting experience to kind of find out for yourself where you're at in the marketing journey, and we'll also go over budget. I like this little graphic. It's a story about Miranda and her cheeseburger. Things have definitely changed from when you used to open up a restaurant, put a sign on your door, and then everybody knew that you were in town and you had a great restaurant. If you open up a restaurant now and put up a sign, people may or may not know about you. So the way that people now find you would be through doing like a Google search or hearing ads on Spotify, YouTube, any sort of advertising that you do online. Miranda goes to her computer or her laptop or cell phone, and she does a search for best cheeseburger in town. And she looks at all the different reviews of different restaurants that have great cheeseburgers in town, and she finds a food truck that she thinks looks really good and interesting. She saw some pictures and they had good reviews. So she goes and checks out the food truck and she loves the cheeseburger. So she downloads their app and she likes them on all of their social channels. And while she's out hanging with her friends and scrolling through her phone, she sees more great looking cheeseburgers from this food truck, and she just starts to become more familiar, and she remembers them as like, that's my favorite cheeseburger in town. So in the future, when she thinks about, I'm hungry for a cheeseburger, she's not thinking about that cheeseburger anymore. She's thinking about the actual food truck. So it's kind of a nice little illustration of how the general consumer operates in this day and age. Things that you can do to figure out who your ideal customer are is like, where do they work? How do they act? What are they thinking? If you can figure out some of their pain points, that's a great way to market to your consumers. So in Miranda's situation, she was hungry. And so she went online to try to find a great cheeseburger. But your customers also have pain. They haven't done a search or found you or asked a friend for a recommendation unless they really need something. So if your customer is somebody that would find you online, which most businesses that is applicable, you want to tailor all of your marketing so that it speaks to that ideal customer. You will have your greatest potential for sales and repeat business if you're marketing to that specific type of customer. And if you're marketing to everybody, you can't be everything to everybody. I think most people know that, but if you are spending a lot of time and energy on people that aren't your ideal client, it will drain your team and it costs you extra money. So we all know that it's probably important to work smarter and not harder. Next, we'll move on to the marketing journey. It starts with your marketing foundation. And we always speak to our clients about how important a really great website is when you are promoting a business. All the other marketing that you do, you're putting that website on it, whether it's your social media, you're directing them back to your website. So that is a really critical piece of the foundation of your marketing. And in addition to that website, you want to have a great brand with a great story behind it, with colors that you love, because that consistent branding is going to be present on all of your marketing that's done online and on print as well. So you really want to have something that you can incorporate into your social media, into digital ads, everything that you're going to be presenting online to your ideal client. This is an example of Starbucks and how we all know what it feels like to go into a Starbucks. It doesn't matter what city it's in, but they have the same look. They have the same way that you order. They make sure that their branding is on everything under the sun. And you know that when you go there, you're going to get a latte that tastes exactly like the latte you have back home if you're traveling. And I think that is really important in getting recurring business from people. They want to have that consistent and dependable service. And they want to feel the same when they go into multiple locations. But that's also true with the way that you're marketing online. You want to have that consistent look and feel across all of your different digital strategies. Obviously, your website is used. You direct all of your traffic there, and that's where people will go to vet you out. They like to see testimonials. They like to read the about page. Putting in information about yourself and your employees is really important. We see a really high percentage of traffic to those about pages. If you can build in a way to capture leads with something that is useful to people, something that addresses part of the pain, part of the reason that they've come to your website, they may be inclined to download an ebook and or potentially set up an appointment with you. So if you have a way for them to give their email, phone number, name, doesn't have to be very many fields, but definitely try to get that information so that you can remarket to them with a great email strategy. And it also is a great way for you to build trust with those clients. Maybe they saw a post on social and then they went to your website and it looks and feels the same. It has the same voice and the same messaging. So they believe that what they said on social is true on their website. And when I meet them in person, hopefully I'll get that same experience. So how did Miranda figure out which food truck she wanted to go to? She looked at their Google business profile page, looked and read reviews, checked out pictures of their food, and then she went to their website. And as long as all of those different places have a consistent message and strategy, she's feeling more confident that when she goes to the food truck, her burger is going to be just as good as the picture looks. So a consistent brand is a really strategic way to continue to present yourself in front of your clients. They say you need to come in front of a client, potential customer, at least 12 times now before they're likely to convert. So making sure that you have a great look and feel, that's going to really build a lot of trust over those 12. I don't know. I can't remember what it is called, but anyways, I think you all know what I mean. Next, you want your website to be found. And how did Miranda find her cheeseburger? She went to Google. She could have also possibly searched in Facebook or other social channels. And more and more people are going online to find places to shop. People really do want to support local. And a great way for them to find places around them is through Google Maps. So like I said, you want to have consistent social posts. There's 1.5 billion social media users across the globe, and 55% of buyers will do research on social media before they come check you out in person or order from you online. And I heard that millennials, that percentage is even higher. It's at least 75% of all millennials are not willing to try something new unless they have confirmation from a review or a personal recommendation from a friend before they're willing to try something new. Also, you want to play the search engine game. Organic search is so critical for your business. So making sure that you have appropriate keywords on your website and you can tag headers and pictures. Any way for Google to find your page is really important. You want to do some research on those keywords before you implement them. You want to figure out what people are searching for your particular type of product or service. And it takes a while to build up that SEO rapport with Google. So the longer your website has been in existence, the more rapport that you've built with Google. But it's really important to make sure that those keywords stay up to date and reflect what customers are searching for. The red box on the left is a paid ad. When somebody types in clothing store, that first part that comes up that has ad before it, those are paid. And then everything below the paid ads is organic. So obviously everyone wants to rank on the first page of Google, because I, for one, would rather go to the work of typing a different search in than go to the second page of Google. So it is really important to get those keywords and work on your Google ranking. Another way to add more keywords to your site is to write SEO blogs for specific keywords that your potential clients might be searching for. Local SEO is your Google business profile page, and it is super important to make sure that that is as detailed as possible. So you definitely want to include all of your different services, your hours that people can come to your physical store, your website, absolutely any field that you have information you should input into your Google business profile page. And then it's also really important to put out at least one update a week on your page. This is essentially Google's business social network. So they really decide to reward people that put more content on Google business profiles. So this is a really quick and easy way to start gaining some rapport with them. Next, we'll talk about advertising. Once you have a great social media presence and strong website and a great brand, you've worked on your SEO, maybe it's time to throw a little bit of digital ad spend into the mix. So no matter how creative or brilliant the ad, placement is the only way it's going to be seen by the intended audience. So really figuring out that ideal client and targeting them through this digital strategy is really important. Just make sure that you're putting your ad where your customer is. So if you think they're not going to see your ad between 8 and 5, make sure and have your ads be more in the evening or on the weekend. If they're an audience that would hear you on Hulu, that's a great place to advertise as well. Okay, after this, we need to work on how much should we spend on these digital ads. The US Small Business Administration said for new companies, they should be spending around 7 to 8% of gross revenue. And this may fall as your business grows. And depending on the rate of growth that you're looking for, you'll need to adjust that up or down. But at a very bare minimum, you should be spending 3% of your gross revenue on marketing as a whole. And at least 1% of that should be spent online. There's other things that you need to do for marketing, such as promotional products, memberships to great organizations like Grow Nebraska, and then any sort of in-person events where you're hosting food and beverage or an event. That's all included in your marketing, but definitely set aside at least 1% of your gross revenues for digital marketing. And if you're going to spend that money, you want to know what it's making you. And there's pretty easy calculation to figure out your return on your investment, and it's revenue earned minus the cost of investment. But it may not end there. So if you're able to have somebody try out your great cheeseburger food truck and they like it, the chances of them eating another one of your cheeseburgers is pretty high if they had a great experience. So if you have figured out that once you get somebody in the door, they shop with you on average 8 more times, your average cost, like your average spend per customer times 8 visits, needs to be factored into your calculation of your return on investment. So your customer acquisition cost is your marketing spend divided by the total number of new customers. So if you guys have any questions about those, feel free to add those to the chat. Next up is the cohesive digital brand. And why is this so important? It's the trust factor. If you're not in love with your brand right now, it's really important to take some time to put thought and energy into your logo, the colors, and your fonts, because those exact same things that you choose for that logo need to be highly prevalent across all of your digital online strategy. For our logo in particular, I like to use it as an example because it has a lot of meaning for us. The outsides of the logo are the beginning and end of HTML code. The inside white space is a compass, like you would see on Google Maps. The top blue dot is a location dropper. We try to help all of our clients be found. The lower blue dot is representative of water. We have core values that all start with the letter C. So we have the 7 C's, and that water droplet represents our core values. And in addition to that, the outside, if you look at it as if it's two people from above, they have their arms outstretched and they're holding hands, collaborating. So all of those things are really important to us at True North, and the colors are actually the colors of the Northern Lights, which falls in line with True North. And the reason I named my company True North Technologies was because I read an article. It was based on a book, Follow Your True North. And if you just basically make all of your decisions in your life based on your values, then inevitably you'll write your course to be following your path to your true north. When I read that article, I was going through a pretty tough time and I felt like I was off course. So that really stayed with me. You just kind of have to make conscious effort to start making better decisions and getting back on your course. So True North has definitely been a huge part of me finding my passion. And so I love to talk about that. And I love to tell our story. And then we have all sorts of astronomy built into our company. So like a lot of our imagery that you'll see will have stars on it, the galaxy. We call our employees stars, and our meetings are all related to a star theme as well. So the more you can take your brand and build it into like the fabric of your business, that's a great way to build loyalty with your employees. They feel really bought into your vision, and that's really important to people, a little bit more so now than their actual salary. There's been a lot of studies done on reasons why people will stay with a company, and getting behind a mission is really important to people. So if you have that and there's a way for you to incorporate it into your brand and your online strategy, those really build a lot of trust with your potential clients. It's really important to figure out what your company voice is. Some people like to be really fun. If you want to really embody your core values, you want to think about what types of adjectives you use. Like if you're in the healthcare industry, you're probably not going to be like, this is a really cool and rad way to take care of your health. You really want to, sound more like an expert. So you would use adjectives, verbs, things that really make you sound like a professional. It's great to highlight team events that you have. Get your mission statement out there for people to see. If you're participating in the community, let people know about it. And if you've won an award, absolutely do not be afraid to boast and put that out on every single social channel and your Google business profile and your email signature, and as far and wide as you can put it. So that's our recommendation, and we try to follow that ourselves. So you want to put a lot of personality into your social posts, not just selling your product or your service. So we're going to go through a few examples. I'm not sure how many people we have online right now, but I'll just kind of go through these and you can kind of answer for yourself, or type it in the chat if you have your answer. So we're going to ask for specific marketing platforms, what's the most important? Is it the branding, the voice, or both? So the first one is a website. Is it your branding, your voice, or both? That's most important. I can't see the chat right now, so I'm not sure if we have any answers, but it's both. So your voice is really important. That story that I just told you is on our about page, and the way I just told it is as much as possible written exactly like that on our website. Um, and uh, the visuals are definitely important. So, all right. So is it the brand, the voice, or both for social media? Again, it's both. Surprise. uh, you definitely want to have those colors consistent. You want to have your logo everywhere you can possibly put it. Like I said, it takes at least 12 times to be in front of your potential clients before they may convert. Uh, that's my little best friend, Benny. And we definitely try to have a little fun with our social posts. Okay, so surprise, surprise, for paid ads, it's also both. You definitely need a great consistent brand and voice. All right. I don't know, how are we doing for time? I think we've probably get through what makes a great website yet. Um, why do you need a website? If you're not sure already, it proves you exist. It's kind of your digital brochure. So not as much print material is being handed out anymore. People just go to your website to check you out. It'll definitely increase your credibility if you've got some solid testimonials on there, examples of your work so that people can see your product. And then it's just sort of a welcome mat to your actual business, and like getting them familiar with who you are and your vision and just your entire feel. They'll just feel more right at home when they actually come and see you in person or purchase that product, because they're all really already familiar. All right, statistic time. Everybody loves that. I think everybody has seen throughout the pandemic that e-commerce is on the rise. And I've seen some even newer stats on, sorry, this is a little bit outdated, but 2021, that was an even greater percentage increase. So it was pretty consistent, going up about 1% every year, until between 2019 and 2020, there was sort of an explosion, and then it went crazy after 2020. So if you have not already created a way for your visitors to your website to purchase online, it's time to get that done. So don't forget about Miranda and her cheeseburger. She found them on Google or social. She really wanted a cheeseburger. She checked them out on their Google business profile, and most likely she went to their website as well. So getting a look at the menu, and then they turned her into a really loyal customer that downloaded the app, and she sees them on social all the time. Okay, some simple questions that you can open up your current website, or have friends and family open your website and ask them these questions to see if there's any areas for improvement. You should be able to tell almost immediately when you get to your website, what are you selling? What's your voice? How do I buy? And am I trustworthy? So ways you can build trust is like being member of local organizations, those testimonials, and visuals of your actual product or service. All right, we're all the way through and we're hitting the recap. We'll take a look at what we've learned. We just went over Miranda and her journey. And I think it's really important to think about yourself and your own client. What's their experience when they go try to find your product or service online? What would it feel like if you were trying to find you online? Are you easy to find? Did you have enough information on your Google business profile? Did you go after those reviews? Do you have a 5-star rating? And is your website up to par? Were you able to answer those 4 questions successfully? And if not, that's okay. It's always a journey, and your website and your online strategy should constantly be changing. You should be always trying to improve upon it and follow new trends, and just really give a great online presence for those customers that are trying to find you. All right, you want to figure out who your ideal customer is and market to them more effectively. Forget about all the other guys, only speak to that ideal customer. Who cares what your grandma thinks, as long as you're making sales, right? So you just need to figure out where you are at in the journey. Maybe you need to start at your foundation. You need to get that brand and website up to date. Maybe you love that. You've worked really hard on it and you just want people to go to the website. Work on your SEO. Work on those digital ads. Maybe put a budget behind what you're doing, and maybe you can really explode your business. The best way to increase your sales, in my opinion, is obviously with digital marketing. And then just have a great, consistent voice across all of your platforms. Make sure you incorporate your colors, your fonts, your look and feel, your strategy. Make sure it's the same everywhere that people will find you. And then evaluate that website with those 4 questions. And I think that will really give you a good indicator of where you need to improve. If it's time for just a rebuild, it's time for a rebuild. Do not wait. If your website sucks, then everybody goes to your website and they think your work is subpar, because if your website is a reflection of who you are and how you do business, then they're not going to do business with you. This is a very big factor in people's decision. Now, I guess we'll just move on to any questions that people may have. Like I said, if you guys ever have any further questions that you want answers just about your specific company, here's our phone number and website. Fill out a form on there. We'd be happy to reach out to you and set up a time to sit down. No question is too silly. You know, a lot of times people don't even know that you need to claim your Google business profile, and maybe you're starting there. There's a lot of things that you can do for yourself, and we're happy to give advice and do sort of a digital analysis of where your company's at online currently. I guess so with that, we'll move on to questions. Maybe I'll throw it back to Grow and let them take it from here.
Yeah, so I don't see any questions yet. I think most people are waiting for the recording because, you know, they might be at work. So Does anyone that's on right now have any questions? If not, we'll just outro and get the recording sent out to everyone. So we'll give them a few seconds. Okay. Don't think anyone has questions as of now, but like Renee said, you can totally reach out to her and she'll assist you with anything, any questions. So
And if you want to email me directly, my email is renee@go-tnt.com, and it's RENEE. So thanks everybody for tuning in that we're online today. And I hope anyone that gets to watch it later gets a little bit of a nugget of information that they can do to improve their online marketing. So.
Oh yes, and I'll probably include your email in the email that I send out with the recording, just in case if anyone has specific questions, they can go straight to you. So
yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah,
I'll
no problem.
Do my outro quick for everyone. Okay, so thank you to Renee and thank you to everyone that joined live today. So if you have any questions, you can contact me at the store phone number, which is 308-338-3520, or you can email me directly at zoe@grownebraska.org. Our upcoming Grow Nebraska trainings are not yet posted, but they are coming up and we have a lot of great ones coming up. So be on the watch for those and they will be posted on our social media as well as our training emails. So you won't miss out on the announcement of when they're posted. So just keep an eye out. Our upcoming Grow with Google training is September 7th, and this one will cover how to sell online with e-commerce tools as well as Google tools. This training is available in Spanish with Sixia, the Google training, and then our English training is with Dave Meyer, who is also a Google trainer. The English one's from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. and the Spanish one is from 6 to 7. And if you register, you will receive the recording after. And then our Marketing Monday tips, don't miss out on it. It's every first Monday, we're live on Facebook. And every last Monday, we're live on Instagram. So our next one is actually this upcoming Monday. And they start at noon. They're really quick. So just take 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to learn some quick tips. And Caitlin Pye is actually the presenter for that. And she is a Grow Nebraska member. So all of you who join, if you're a Grow Nebraska member, you could potentially win a free coaching session. And if you're a non-member, you'll be entered into a drawing for a free Grow Nebraska t-shirt. So yeah, be on the watch for all our trainings. We highly recommend all of them as you'll learn something in each and every one of them. And reach out to me if you have any questions, or if you're a Grow Nebraska member wanting to host one of our trainings, be sure to reach out to me because we have a lot of openings for next year. So please reach out to me. Thank you all and have a good rest of your day.